Cool. Hey guys, hope you're having a beautiful day. It is Sunday in the UK, 4 p.m. The rest of the world, I'm not quite sure, but somewhere it's going to be 8 a.m. and I think 11 a.m. in the US as well. Etienne, what time is it there where you are at the moment?
5 p.m. here in Switzerland.
5 p.m. in Switzerland. Cool. I think we're mostly agreed, like looking out the windows, it's a beautiful day out there, right? So now we've got to motivate these lazy fuckers out there that were sitting there drinking too much, eating too much shit, having all these bullshit excuses that they can't do exercise and they can't do this, that, and the other. So Liran, kick off things. Tell everyone now you haven't smoked any weed since the beginning of the year. Show me a bag of weed.
What an accomplishment, you know?
Yeah.
I know this is my shining achievement in life. But no, you know, I in the beginning of this year, I made some decisions and some commitments to myself. Yeah. I think part of that is, and actually, let me show you this. Actually, I'll bring this out here because I think it's important to, you know, do what you say. This is my big ass
vision board.
But what my vision board has on it is it has the 7 areas of my life that and my 1 year vision for those areas of my life. I like to look at this a few times a week, and those areas are physical body, emotions and meaning, relationships, time, career and mission, finances, contribution, and spirituality. When you write this stuff down, it wires your brain to act a certain way. You're telling your brain what you wanted to do. You're telling your mind what you wanted to, how you want it to act. You're programming yourself. And then when you look at this a few times a week, you stay accountable to it. So for you know, talking about a lot of this stuff has to do with health, but talking about my physical body. So I have for my physical body, my current weight is 150 pounds. 1 year from now, I want to be in the range of 145 to 155. Well, I'm exactly in that range. Yeah, exactly in that range. And when I focused on looking at that every few days, I'm not going to allow myself to go beyond that because that's very incongruent with my 1 year vision for my physical body. So I think taking this.
Hold on, Etienne, man, listen. We're live and you're sitting there typing. Come on, pay attention.
Sorry.
That's right. Etienne, you know.
Come on, man.
You know.
Be accountable. Pay attention. Yeah. Sorry.
You know. So I think so I made some decisions, and based on those decisions, I didn't even it wasn't even that so conscious for me to stop smoking weed. It was just I just stopped doing it. I didn't want to do it anymore. And probably the reason why I didn't want to do it anymore is because it just, you know, it's not the best use of my time. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong. If you want to go smoke weed every so often, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now is probably not the best time for your respiratory system and your lungs and with COVID. But I'm not judging anybody who wants to smoke weed. For me, it was just you know, is this the best and highest use of my time? Asking myself questions like that, and then sitting on my office couch every night for a couple hours smoking weed is probably not. It's not the person that I need to be in order to achieve the goals that I want to achieve.
What you want to get to.
Yes.
Cool. Etienne, let's bring you in here as well. Obviously, you're even with this, Liran, in the current climate, you're being disciplined. You know, what I want to get into is that obviously it's very easy to fall out of this because of the shit that's going on. It's like, oh, well, the world's on the meltdown. Fuck it. Let's go and have a glass of wine or a bottle of wine and, you know, and just watch Netflix from first thing in the morning. But we'll get to that in a minute. Etienne, I'll bring you in. What have you been up to since, how long have you been on lockdown? Since Prague with me, about 3 weeks now. This is week 4.
Well, yeah, the same. But here it's actually a bit less strict than some other places in Europe. Actually, I think the government is counting on the discipline of everyone. So you're still allowed to go out, but then people are very careful and also take the responsibilities. I think the most important for me in that period of time is to keep my routine. Starting with my morning routine, the way I do things, and this discipline helps me keep focus and keeps my body in good shape, I guess.
Yeah. Liran, so you locked down 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? 2 or 3?
About 3 weeks plus. It's really locked down. I mean, I haven't left the house myself in 3 weeks. My wife left the house 2 weeks ago to get some food, groceries. But even that, we're trying to get delivery now and everything else. So I really literally have not gone anywhere
Yeah.
In
but the thing is, you're right in the middle of the epidemic. New York is pretty bad right now, right?
Yep.
And I know that you're not lived in completely built up areas, but you've been disciplined to stay indoors. But you still get up, you have rituals every day, you still work out each day. What can people do? Like, let's just say no one's got weight training equipment. Like I've got next door, I can go and hit a bag and skip a rope. It's fine, and I can then go and walk the dogs around the village and the parks and stuff. But like 20, 30 years ago, I would have been in a flat, like on a council estate, and I would have been locked down. So I feel for people there. But for your own sanity, you got to do something, way of exercise and stuff. What can people do? Bodyweight exercise, something that you can do for free indoors. Talk me through that.
First of all, there's zero excuse. Excuse. Now, it's not about making excuses. It's about making a commitment. It's about making a decision. I was having a conversation in a Facebook post the other day, and there was somebody who was saying, I would like to go to sleep earlier at night, right? And there was some back and forth, and they said, I'm going to try to do that. And my response to them was, if you say you're going to try to do that, you're not going to do it. You need to say, I'm going to do that, right? And just that small shift in the language that you use and the commitment you make to yourself is gonna shift that. So the first thing is, before you try to answer the nonsense in your head about I can't work out, you actually haven't decided that you're gonna work out. Because once you decide to work out, super easy. Go do 10 rounds of 10 push-ups, 20 crunches, 30 jumping jacks, and do 10 rounds of that, and it'll take you about 20 to 30 minutes.
10 sets,
and if you can't finish and you get to 20 minutes, that's all you did. Well, amazing, right? I mean, in my mind, if I could do 15 minutes a day of something every day to move my body, then I feel good. Now, what are the things that are going to so all functional fitness kind of stuff, chair dips, right? You can do box jumps onto something on your house. I took a little stair stool that my daughter uses to go brush her teeth, and I jumped on that. You could do broad jumps, which is basically just how far can you jump from one spot to the other. Push-ups, sit-ups. I mean, super easy. The thing that I think you need is, one, you need to make a commitment. Two, I think you need something to hold you accountable. So this is a little thing I'm using this month. It's a chart: wellness, business, family, and friends. What am I using? What am I doing? One thing every single day in each of those areas. And you know what? Today I may not work out. I worked out for the last few days, but I'm going to meditate. And so I can check the box on wellness because I meditated today for 20 minutes.
And you've got to give your body a rest when you do exercise, for recovery. Yeah, I'm
giving my body a rest, but I'm going to do something else for my wellness, right? Maybe it's take a walk. Maybe it's meditate. Maybe it's sitting, whatever, like doing something that's taking a hike or something. So I think you need to do that. And then some kind of additional accountability really helps. So I'm in a messenger chat group with like 10, 15 other guys. They're all Amazon sellers. And we all share our stats on what we've done for the day. Some of us have this Whoop strap. So we're on a team there. I'm on some teams there with this app. So it keeps me accountable also to compete, to have friendly competition with other people. But I have friends that bring me up, that push me up. I have a friend that sent me, a shot yesterday. He just finished his workout and he's like, let's go. When are you doing yours? Right. Yeah. So, I think that's important to have right now, because I think it can get, depressing and lonely at times. And
boring and fatigue, and you sit there and you just get tired and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah. And you see these 10 push-up challenges, right, on Instagram, tag somebody for do 10, send 10 or whatever, right? Participate in that stuff, because it's going to actually get you, it's going to make it a little bit more fun to move your body and to do it. So get an accountability partner and push each other. Write down your goals for what you want to do for the rest of the month, for the rest of the year, where you want to be 60 days from now. And I guarantee you, just taking those steps will make it much easier for you to take action. It's like the domino effect. The actions will come.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to say a few hellos to people who've commented. So Tiffany, yoga and light stretching are also great. Andrew, he says hi. Owen Burrows, his back, says hi. Florin, hope you're well, mate. Last time I see you, we were at the party pier in China. I think I left you there about 4:00 in the morning. So he says, I cannot imagine Etienne ever getting fat because of laziness. Good to see you, mate. Others have said, hey guys, let's look on listing here. Oleg's here. Who else is here? Clive, Eric Payne, John Carter. Hello, John. I haven't seen you for years. Daniel Fernandez. Andrew is here. Herb's back. Sophia, how you doing, Phil? Andrea, and my daughter Maya Lee is actually watching. So hopefully we don't expose her to too much. She's 14 years old. Etienne, some
Uh, uh,
exercises and stuff that you're doing. What have you been doing on a daily? What's been a morning ritual to get you going? Say.
I think Florian is absolutely right. I'm probably the most lazy person I ever met in my entire life. Actually, for most of my life, I've been a big fan of Churchill theory.
Yeah.
At the end of his life, some journalists came to him and said, "Mr. Churchill, what is the secret of your health?" And he was answering, "My secret is sport. No sport." So I've been following that for most of my life, but actually I changed a little bit. But as I'm super lazy, I keep that only for 7 minutes per day. I started with this app 7, and I actually only do 7 minutes of a workout per day. I do rowing machine. I have this House of Card wooden, very nice rowing machine, water rower, and I do that for 7 minutes a day. That's it. I'm listening to a podcast while doing that, and it's now part of my morning routine. So it's not an effort for me because I wake up, I do my things, I do this for 7 minutes, and it's bringing me a lot of energy and good feeling. And then I run to my cold shower for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
that's it.
Nice.
Oh, you do a cold shower as well, back of the neck, just to
the full body.
What about you, Liran? What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Is one of your rituals?
Open my eyes, Danny.
Yeah.
But you know
Apart from that, then wipe your eyes, then look at your phone and go, "Oh, the screen's still bright."
But no, you know what I do? First of all, I've gotten into this. Dr. Wayne Dyer. I heard this recently. Dr. Wayne Dyer. He's passed now, but motivational, inspirational guy, would wake up every day, put his feet on the ground, and say thank you. And I try to do that when I remember to actually say thank you for being alive and waking up with gratitude. But I do. I wouldn't say I have my typical morning routine is like I wake up, I'll have coffee, I'll usually start working, but I don't have a set. I would say I weave in.
You don't have a set of rules that you.
I don't have a set of rules. I don't have a set of rules. Like I might go meditate I do transcendental meditation. So tm.org for those that want to check it out. I try to do it at least once a day. You're supposed to do 20 minutes twice a day, but I might go from 2 to 2:20 to meditate. And then from 2:30 to 3, I might work out during the day. The nice thing about working for yourself is I could do that in between meetings or calls or whatever it is that I have going on that day. Sometimes I do it in the morning. Sometimes I get to 8:30 at night and I'm like, I haven't done shit today as far as my health. I'm going to get on my Peloton for 15 minutes and do a little bike ride. So I wouldn't say that I have this, amazing. I wake up at 5 a.m., especially now. I'm actually waking up a little later than I was probably before this because my daughter would go to school and that's not happening. And so it's not great. I want to improve that, but I kind of just make sure I can check the boxes throughout the day of moving the needle in the different areas of my life. And tracking it, I think, is important. I think also allowing yourself the day off sometimes, right? Is not putting, meaning don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's not easy right now, right? So I think it's okay.
Unless, sorry, like you're a high performing individual, right?
Yes.
But what can't get twisted is everyone. There's a mass population out there. Is every day is a day off.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So
don't do that 2 days in a row. Okay. If you're gonna allow yourself to veg out, or if you're gonna allow yourself to, don't allow yourself to do it for 2 days in a row. Allow yourself, if on a Sunday you want to veg out and not do shit, then fine. But you know what? At least you have the awareness that you are doing that, right? Most people who veg out 3-4 days in a row don't even have the awareness that they're doing that. Once you have the awareness that you're allowing yourself 3 hours to whatever, watch a movie, veg out, eat bad food, whatever it is, then I think it's okay with some understanding that, this is time I'm wasting. This is time I'm vegging out. This is time I'm allowing myself to to escape a little bit. But I think the more awareness you have around that, the less likely you are to actually do that. Tiffany says, check out TM. So with TM, I'll talk a little bit about TM. I started doing transcendental meditation in 2007. The reason why I started and looked for it is just dealing with anxiety. So it wasn't like I wanted to be some spiritual yogi. I actually had issues that I wanted to go fight without going under crazy medication. I'll share my story too. I got off anxiety medication this January also that I've been on for like 20 years. But transcendental meditation is the meditation so you have to get a teacher to teach you. It's not something you can just learn online. It's well worth it. They're offering tremendous discounts or whatever, especially right now. It's a one-time. The way I saw it when I paid for it was that it was a one-time expense for a gift I'm giving myself for the rest of my life. But this was a meditation that the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi brought from India. It's a mantra-based meditation. He was the Beatles guru. You would see him, a lot of the Beatles songs, the White Album and their stuff in India. Sexy Sadie was originally titled the Maharishi. So there's a lot of actually some interesting things about TM, but a lot of very successful hedge fund managers and celebrities practice this form of meditation.
Yeah. Etienne, let's bring you in. Meditation. What have you been doing now? I mean, I've probably done 2 or 3 hours today on and off, but I've been bored absolutely shitless as well and looking forward to doing this call. And I tie things in. I'll get into the tie-in. There's a series of things that you can do as part of your day that you build in. But Etienne, I want to speak to you first because we haven't given you enough airtime at the moment. Talk to me about some of the meditation stuff that you're doing as well.
So I practice meditation with breathing, and it can be only 1 minute or 2, or it can be 20, 30 minutes. Yes. I practice the Wim Hof method, and it's not just about the cold. It's about breathing and connecting with your inner fire, actually. Yeah. So it's a very specific technique of breathing, crazy breathing, and that pushes the oxygen in the whole parts of your body, and you can really reach actually other level of consciousness. It's great.
Sounds good.
Wim Hof, by the way, has an app, and it's free. The breathing thing is free on his app. I do it once in a while, probably not as much as Etienne, but he's got these like you follow his guidance on breathing, and right now, especially, I think it's important with your respiratory, your breath, your lungs, to work on that.
Yeah, and I also I'm also coaching a few friends starting with the methods right now. The thing I can tell about this app, it's a great one, but it's also a bit scholar. So there's no specific rules actually. You think there is when you watch those videos and you follow the steps, but there's not really. You just need to follow your body, and as long as you get the feelings in your head, the tinglings in your hands, etc., you're in a good place. So just listen to yourself.
Yeah, Owen says every other day, 6 a.m. jog, 1 mile, cold bath for 10 minutes, press ups times 10, build into 5 miles and 5 sets of 10. You need a physical aspect and have a target to aim for. Would like to slip in some meditation into this routine. Suggestions, please. Well, there's easy to slip into those routines because you're doing them after your exercise is part of your recovery as well. Even on YouTube, just find some stuff. Don't have to be like very scientific about it. Go and do a search for meditation. Binaural beats is another thing that people could look. Serotonin music, frequencies, stuff like that you can use. Just find your rhythm and get it all for free. It costs no money just to look on YouTube and build a playlist.
Danny, go ahead, Etienne.
Yeah, sorry,
I found it sad that not so many people use binaural beats. This is amazing. You just Google it, or you just go on YouTube and find whatever music you want. It's really helping a lot to reach any level of consciousness that you want to reach, either focus or relaxation, meditation, or sleep. You can get to sleep in less than 2 minutes listening to that.
Yeah, without a doubt. Go on, Liran, what are you going to say?
Yeah, I want to bring in some principles in this because I think when you have and Danny, you see my posts, and I share a lot of this stuff on my Facebook. But I think when you bring in new principles into your life, it can change what you focus on, which changes your behavior and your actions. Yeah. So some principles I brought into my life, partly this year from Tony Robbins, partly this year from Jesse Itzler. Jesse Itzler, for those of you who don't know, is Sarah Blakely's husband, who's the founder of Spanx, a very, very successful entrepreneur, both of them. Yeah. And he has some amazing principles. I took a course that he put out this year called Build Your Life Resume. And some of the principles that he talks about in there are really good. One of them is called Remember Tomorrow. Okay. So very simple. When you're making a decision, remember tomorrow. It's not right there. And I've heard also, who is the guy who wrote the book Principles, the hedge fund guy, Tom
Daly, is it? No, I can't.
Daly something.
Daly or something like
Daly,
that.
yeah. Wrote the book Principles. He also says something called first order consequences or second order consequences, right? Every decision you make, there is an immediate benefit, immediate effect of that decision, and there's a future benefit, right? So when you start thinking about not just what the immediate benefit is, I can eat the cake now and feel good. How am I going to feel about that tomorrow, right? Remember, so this very simple concept of remember tomorrow might make you go from drinking 1 glass of wine instead of drinking 4 glasses of wine. It might make you do the 15 minutes of exercise at the end of the day because you want to know how am I going to feel. I'm going to feel shitty right now. I don't want to get Ray Dalio. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Cheryl. Yeah.
I don't want to exercise right now. I just don't feel good. But tomorrow I'm going to feel good about that. And I think it's doing the hard things that are. It's doing the hard things that differentiates you from everybody else. Tony Robbins says it's the things you do in private that you'll be rewarded for in public. He just put out a blog post about that. And totally
same thing with that represents integrity. It's what you do when no one else is looking represents integrity. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's very much in your business right now. Are you if or whatever you're doing, if you have extra time right now, are you taking that time to learn stuff? Or are you taking that time to watch COVID 24/7 news? Yeah. It's the things you're doing in private that you'll be rewarded for or not in public.
Yeah. So can I bring in this coupling thing that I was going to talk about earlier on, where you can do things and tie other things in with it. So for instance, I don't do it every morning. It depends on what I'm going to do. So I'll do anything from hit a bag and skip, and that will be like an hour-long workout at some point. I haven't done it much this week, but I've done 2 long, about 2 hours or hour and a half each dog walks, right? Or I'll jump on the bike and I've got some light weights. But I might wake up in the morning, first thing, grab black coffee, get on the bike, put on some inspirational stuff or some music, just hit the bike really hard, just so that I'm getting the so you're feeling like the burn in your legs. Then hit the weights, and it could be 2 minutes, then into a shower. I'm now awake, a bit of caffeine. But it's them little short bursts. So that starts that whole process off. And what I've got into the habit of doing is that in order for me to stay out walking the dog, instead of rushing the dog around the park or something, I plan to do all of my calls. And so what happens is I'm actually walking and getting exercise. The dog stays out for longer. I'm keeping social distance, but I'm using that time to not even realize, because normally you go and take the dog for a walk and it's like, okay, there's the park there. You go round the park and then you're out again. When I'm talking business on the phone, I could be there an hour and 20 minutes and just going round and round, to the point the fucking dog looked at me the other day and was staring at the gate because he'd had enough. He just wanted to go home. So there is a point where you can start to tie all those things in. It's the same with the meditation and stuff like that. You can do meditation when you're tired and lay on the bed. Let's just say you get up in the morning, you do some work, and you do a lot of what I call deep work, thinking work, and you become exhausted. It's 11:30, you've been 5 hours in front of the computer. Go and meditate. Go and lay on your bed. Go and grab a YouTube playlist. Put that on for 20 minutes. And then suddenly, have you noticed how you can reset the calm and you're back in the game again? And that's how you can extend out your day as well without the additional coffee. Because obviously the coffee you can drink all day. Then you're going to burn out your adrenals or whatever. And then you have diminishing returns.
Yes. And I've and that's awesome. Like, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Yeah. You're getting your business done while you're getting your walk done, while you're getting sun. Yeah. Right. While you're walking the dog, right. You're actually doing 5 things all at the same time. I bring my phone, because it's waterproof, into the shower, and I'm listening to podcasts when I'm showering, after I work out. So I think it's, it's called like net time, no extra time, right? It's like driving in the car, listening to a podcast, that kind of stuff. This is, I don't know if you can see this. You probably can right there, but this is something I saw on Instagram. I posted it. It said what I thought would make me productive, and it's hard work. And then what actually makes me productive, right? Which is, exercise, healthy eating, sleep, time off, hard work, right? Because, this concept is that you are the machine that is running your business and your life. And if the machine is running without gasoline and oil and what the machine needs, then the machine is not going to run the business as well. So I think as entrepreneurs, and I would say probably the majority of people watching this are entrepreneurs, and you're actually going to do better in your business if you focus on your health, right? You're going to make a better decision. You can't make high energy decisions in a low energy state. You just ate a pie of pizza and cake. You're not going to be as clear-headed as if you just exercised and ran that day,
or you fasted in the morning or whatever, and your ketones are kicked in.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, to me, like entrepreneurship and like running your body optimally like goes so well hand in hand. And I've seen for myself, I started keto. I lost 30 pounds since like sometime in 2018 since I started keto. I've also done better. Coincidentally, I've also done better in business at the same time.
Yeah, it's a knock-on effect. Etienne.
I want to add something as well. It's about the projection, and I think it comes from the Miracle Morning book. But that's something I do regularly. Either imagining myself having done the small thing I don't want to do in the coming day, or the next big challenge in the coming months or two. But putting yourself in the position and in the feeling right after you've done it makes it actually far easier to do. And I strongly recommend doing that every day, just for the thing that you need to do but you don't want to do because it's scary, it's boring, it's hard, you don't feel comfortable. But just imagine yourself having done it and how good it feels, and then you've done already half the job.
Yeah, Danny, I want to before I go to the next, I want to read you one thing. This is off something Gary V put up a post. So I follow the people I follow: Gary V, Tony Robbins, Jesse Itzler, Jim Quick, like a lot of Tom Bailu. But Gary V wrote, a lot of life is about doing shit you don't want to do to set up what you do want to do. And somebody commented, and they wrote, so true. If you only do what's convenient and easy, like putting things off, procrastinate, the least effort, life is harder. Do what's necessary and hard, and life becomes easier. Feed your business until it feeds you back. In the beginning, you'll be grossly underpaid, but be consistent, work hard and smart, and eventually it'll switch. And you'll enjoy life reserved for the few who do versus the many who talk and complain. When you do what others won't, you can live how others can't.
Yeah, that's entirely true. And I think that's the biggest problem with the switch of entrepreneurship later in life. People are too fucking worried about what the Joneses think, and they won't downgrade their lifestyle. So they've set this lifestyle up to them. They've lived off that crack of what's called a monthly paycheck. They burn right to the edge of that check on a daily basis, monthly basis, sorry. And then they go, well, I want to get out of this world, but how do I replace my 100 grand salary? They think that it's like, no. What you do is you sell the fucking house and that big car that you're showing off to people, and you get your nut down and you work hard and you build it all again and become self-contained, because it's a completely different shift in mindset, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Where were we? I was sure there was something I was going to... Accountability. There we go. 4 o'clock every day. This is my accountability. I think it's Tim Ferriss who said this. I love the accountability. Like, if you want, let's say you want to achieve something, right? So you can either go on Facebook, you can do it publicly, you can do all these different things. But what he said is that he made donations. I can't remember who it was. It might have been someone like Trump, or someone that you don't like. Say there's stuff out there that you're really against, like you would rather set fire to yourself than think about it. That's what you need to do. Like, accountability is easy, but go and find something that you despise. Like, go and invest, or like put a donation to something that you can't stand. That will give you the drive to get stuff done as well.
So
yeah,
go ahead.
We put that in place with my accountability partner. Well, we tried at least.
Yeah.
But I cannot stress enough the importance of having someone you can talk to every week, and that knows your business, even though it's not this person is not in the same business, but that knows your business and your roadmap, and that can challenge you on the key actions you take every week to bring you closer to your long-term goals.
Yeah.
And don't do that with a friend. Don't do that with your partner, because those people will always prefer to save the relation than to save the true content of your conversations. And sometimes the content of the conversation is very hard. And sometimes he tells me, or I'm telling him, you're bullshitting me. So this is absolutely not what you should do to go closer to your dreams. You should focus on that and not on this, because this is only pleasing you, but not bringing you closer. And so it's quite challenging, always in a friendly way, but sometimes quite hard on the facts. And you shouldn't do that with someone that is too close from you, even though you can get very close with your accountability partner.
Yeah. Florence says, I started working with a guy and I met by chance in Indonesia last year. Our work involved breath work, visualization, numbers. And each session rewires a certain part of your brain. It sounds so cliche, but it's literally changed my life and specifically my relationships as a husband and a father, as well as a business mindset. I think we spoke about this before, Danny and Etienne. I think, we probably two sheets to the wind on the party pier, but yeah, I remember that. And Tiffany says, be careful who you hang out with. As this says, as the saying goes, eagles don't run with chickens, which is the same thing as you're the average of the 5 people
you become
most spent time with.
Tiffany's making some great comments. I love the mindset. And yeah, totally agree. You're made up of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If
you're the average of the 5 people you most spend time with, that's it.
I mean, if you are spending time with people that are complaining right now, you're gonna feel like it's okay to complain. If you're talking to people right now who are like, how am I innovating? What am I doing in my business? How am I growing? How am I taking advantage of whatever opportunities there are that exist right now? How am I, spending more time exercising with my family and looking at things with a positive light? It makes a huge difference.
The people you want to surround you with is the people who have an abundance mindset and not a scarcity one.
Oh yes, I mean, what's the word? Let me articulate it. When you're having a bad day, right? You've noticed how it's a compounding effect. You've got the ump. You wake up in the morning, your bad day. You may argue with your partner. Then something else happened. Then something else goes wrong. It's just like this complete effect. It's like the energy that you're generated. If you can realize just for one moment, and we all struggle with it, you realize just for one moment, say, hold on a minute, this is fucked up. You are you portray all your faults. So like if you decide you're going to carry on down that track and be miserable, then that's how its physiology is going to work on you as well. Physically, you're going to be filled down and stuff like that. But I think what people miss is that we are in control of our own minds. It's what we feed it to do. And that's really important again. And going back to the thing of having your 5 average people, it's like a cancer. If you're the only one who's up and there's 4 that are down, it's very hard to bring those up. It's very easy for those 4 to drag you under, like you're drowning.
And yes, and I think if you have 1 or 2 people in your life that you're very close with, that you can call up when you're having that moment, and those are the kind of people that are going to bring you up and not bring you down, that could be very helpful. Yeah. And I would say right now is a good time to also like reach out to other people. They say, if you're suffering, we'll focus on somebody else's suffering, and you won't feel as bad, right? And I think right now, taking time every day to like text a few friends or check in on people in terms of how they're doing. I think it's a tough times that define who you are as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a friend. Are you running away from people that may be reaching out to you? Are you reaching out to other people? Are you doing the hard things? Are you exercising? Can you focus and work on your business? This is, the easy times is, it's easy to be an entrepreneur when like everything's going amazing, right? It was easy in 2014 to launch products on Amazon and be successful. Well, how about right now? Can you do it right now? It's the real entrepreneurs, the people who have real grit and persistence that are going to make it right now. And so this is the period of time that will define you. Are you running away, or are you
facing it,
sticking through?
Tom Sullivan says here, successful people don't have bad months, bad weeks, or bad days. They only have bad moments. Very true.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
And a good tip that helped me a lot is to find those people that are going to help you and push you up when you're having a bad moment. Are the people who always try to find solutions. The other people always try to find excuses. So you need to find the difference between those 2 types of people.
Tiff said, this show is so awesome. You all deserve sponsorship. Thank you so much, guys. Puts a pep in my step. We don't need sponsorship. We've got enough money between us. This is to help the community. So, but thank you, Tiff. You always tune in every day. Liran.
Yeah, no, I think of, as we're talking about this, I think of Mike Tyson, who I think has a quote, probably it's been going around recently. It says like, you know, it's all kind of easy and fun till you get punched in the face.
Everyone's
right?
got a game plan until
Everyone's
you
got
get
a
punched
game
in the
plan
mouth. Yeah.
until you get punched in the mouth. Well,
Yeah.
you know, the world has punched a lot of people in the mouth right now.
Yeah.
How are you reacting to it?
Are you going to stay up and go out on your feet? Are you going to go out on your shield?
Yep. Are you getting back up?
Or
Sometimes
are you going to? Yeah.
it's as easy, you know, like the other night, it was 8:30 at night. I didn't do any exercise for the day. I was done. I didn't want to do anything else. All I did was put on my sneakers, right? Take the first step. Take the first step and you'll take the next step. Sometimes it's so hard to take the first step. And I think right now is the period of time that, like I said, that will define you. You've been punched in the face. Are you getting back up, or are you running away? And I don't pretend that it's easy. I think you know, having support from family is great. If you don't have that, having support from friends, building a network, getting, you know, being able to call up. I had somebody last Sunday who sent me a threatening email.
Yeah.
Threatening email, some potential lawsuit. It was really a threat, and it's not happening, but it scared me.
Yeah.
I called up my business partner, and we had a talk for an hour. And after that, I felt so much better, right? And it was just fear, right? And I get on the phone with him, and he said to me, you know what the virus that you're dealing with right now is fear, and it's false evidence appearing real. But the fact that I was able to make that call and have like a heart-to-heart conversation with him changed my day. And so, I don't pretend like I have all the answers and it's easy for me and I don't have down times. But I think recognizing those down times, writing things down, like if you have a bad thought, writing it down and asking yourself, is this true? Is this really true? Like having a set of tools, like a Swiss Army knife of tools of how to deal with the shit and then bring yourself back up is really important. And by watching, you know, these kind of shows that you're putting on every day, by staying in touch with the positive things, by having a really good peer group, and taking action. Action is action over anxiety, right? Like all the time. Action is going to be what
progress over perfection. It's just as long as you're doing something each day. But it goes back, like, I'll be real with you, and I'm sure Etienne as well. We've all had a shit time over the last few weeks, right? I say to everyone, there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with being scared. There's nothing wrong with freezing. But there's everything wrong with giving up. If you give up, you're out the game.
Yes.
That's it. So don't worry about it. Like, this isn't, you know, on Instagram, we give all this bullshit. And, you know, this is real life and this is happening to everyone. So anyone who tells you who don't take a moment is talking bullshit. Being
vulnerable will actually make your connections with people much stronger.
Exactly.
Because if I were to come on here and say, you know, I came on here and I said, hey, last year, I told you before the show, like last year I smoked weed almost every day. And this year I stopped that. And I put that behind me. But if I came in here pretending to be somebody perfect, nobody would connect with that because that's bullshit and it's not real. So it's actually vulnerability can be one of the best things you could do to actually be real and vulnerable with your friends, with business, with people you know, because it'll actually make you connect with other humans in a way that you know, like we're all thinking stuff. We're all thinking the same thoughts. We're all thinking the same thoughts that nobody's saying. Just recognize that. You know, Danny, you speak on stage. Do you deal with imposter syndrome? I'm asking.
No, I just speak my truth.
No, but meaning I deal with, well, I'll say this. I deal with imposter syndrome, meaning it's this thing of like, you know, when I go speak somewhere, there's 10 other speakers. Well, will they do a better job? Will they do a better job with me? Do I deserve to be here? All these questions.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. Do you know what? Honestly, I've been doing it so long. The answer is no, because I don't compare myself. Like I've had this golden rule to myself. It's like, there's always going to be someone better than me, better looking than me, smarter than me, lighter on their feet. You know, I think we had this thing about the boxing, like a few months ago, you posted, and I said, like, I used to do boxing, right, when I was younger, but I was fucking terrible at it. But slowly but surely you get better and you get better, but I was still terrible, but I still do it because I enjoyed it. I could only judge my road on that by being me and my own improvements. I was never going to be Anthony Joshua or anyone like that. I was just nowhere near good enough. It's probably, you play basketball, right? You're not going to hit the NFL, but you love basketball. You shouldn't stop playing. Manny Pacquiao was about this big. He plays basketball, but he plays it for fun. But he's an all-time great as a boxer. So going back to on stage, no, I don't have imposter syndrome, because for me is that I can only do my best performance. My job is not to judge everyone else. I'm who I am. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I just focus on that. If someone's killed it before me, you know, you've got a tough act to follow. Then you might start thinking that. But no, I think after a while, it goes. But like you said, you had more anxiety with it, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
You know, and Oprah talks about, you know, she did this Oprah 2020 vision, right? And she just finished with like Lady Gaga, right? And after they go backstage, and she says, like, this happens with every single person. Lady Gaga goes, "How was that?" Right?
Yeah.
And like you would think, like Lady Gaga, like she crushes it, right? Like, no need to ask, like, "Hey, Oprah, how did I do?" But as a human being, I think we all are vulnerable. We all have the same. We all have the same fear.
I get nervous. Like before I go on, I get butterflies, but that's good, because that means you're not overconfident. Does that make sense? Like, you know, you've got to deliver. And I think what happens is momentum. If you walk out, like I remember last time, Etienne, we were in Prague. When you start out and doing stuff you haven't done before, if the engineer hasn't set up the mic or so, it can be terrible, because it feels like them 10 seconds, 20 seconds turn into an hour. But like the screen wasn't working, my mic wasn't working, headset, nothing was working. But I went out there and started having a chat with the crowd, having a bit of banter with everyone, because it came from experience. You know, you got better and better and better and better. But I remember my first overseas speaking gig, it was at the for Megler at Global Sources. I was fucking terrified. Do you know what I mean? Because that was like a massive thing. But as I said, it gets easier. Do you know what I mean? So,
yes.
About recognizing emotions, we use many words to describe emotions, but actually there's only 4 base emotions that are sadness, anger, fear, and joy, and those are the 4 emotions that all humans share also with the animal world. There's actually a 5th base emotion that is shame, and that is purely human. No animals have this. We build that as a society, but recognizing those 4 or 5 emotions that you go through is super helpful, has been super helpful for me to overcome it, to play with it when I'm feeling fear, because I have this imposter syndrome or whatever. I recognize this, this is you're having fear right now, and I put this in front of me, and then I play with it.
Yeah, makes sense. Liran?
No, I mean, I think everything that's been said here has been on point. Talking back to your health, get accountable. I think the key thing is deciding and writing down goals. If you decide and write down goals, you'll get. There's no.
So let's run through a thing, because let's summarize some of the stuff we talked about, right? So there's morning rituals, right? A coffee will get you going. As I mentioned, if you've got a little bike, hit it for 1 minute, and then hit the weights for 1 minute, or do squats or something. Just get that blood pumping, just to get things going. Because the worst thing you can do is obviously sit on your phone all morning or turn on the news, because that's a killer, or Netflix or something like that. So it's about being systemized and getting going. But then you got to look at, are some people morning people or evening people? So it's about building those level of rituals around that. So there's plenty to do. You can, like you said, do you want to run through some exercises where you don't even need any, you can just do body weight stuff.
So many things. I mean, again, you know, follow, there's something called the United Movement on Instagram. There's this woman called the real Betty Crocker, or the Betty Crocker. She does at-home workouts. Jesse Itzer puts a daily workout every day. Very easy stuff, right? Do 10 rounds of 10 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, 30 jump jacks. Do 10 rounds of that. You'll get sweaty. You'll feel, you know, exercise, super easy to do. You could do it in a tiny space. You could do it right outside your house. You could do it anywhere. Very, very simple. There's no excuse to you finding something online. Like,
or go YouTube, watch a video, anything. Just find something that's interested in.
We shouldn't even have talk about that, because if you're not doing that, it's not because you don't have the information. If you're not eating right, it's not because you don't know how to eat right. You know that eating pizza and cake is not good for you, and that eating more salad and fish and chicken is better for you, right? You already know. It's not about knowing. I think it's about making a commitment, writing down goals, having accountability partners, and deciding that that's really what you want to do. Like if you're drinking Coke all day, you just haven't made a conscious decision that that's not good for you. Once you make a conscious decision, it's very easy to cut it out. Same as smoking. Once you make, you know, there's people right now that have quit smoking because of COVID, right? They're not smoking because of COVID. Why did it take COVID to make them stop smoking. They
Yeah.
could have done it before, but it was a conscious decision based on fear, based on something, right? So
Yeah.
make the conscious decision before you have the heart attack. Start exercising,
Yeah.
right? Before your business goes down the drain, work on your business.
Yeah.
Like realize that it's the action steps that you take today that are going to predict who you become in the future, and who do you and ask yourself, who do I need to become the badass entrepreneur that I want to be, the badass person that I want to be in life, somebody who's going to be there as a role model. I follow Brendan Bouchard. Brendan Bouchard talks about living the role model example. So I like to put myself in the position of living the role model example. It holds me accountable. So when I work out, I post on my stories on Instagram because I'm being the role model, but actually playing the role of role model is just good for me. It makes me accountable. And then if it inspires other people, then great. But I like to elevate myself to that position so that I can give myself a higher level of accountability.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, the other thing we haven't touched on yet is food, because your body's made in the kitchen, isn't it? 90% comes from that. Exercise is well-being, right? Unless you're an athlete. Yeah. But food, let's, Etienne, bring you in here. What are you eating? Are you eating good food at the moment?
Well, my mother is actually a doctor and a nutritionist, but I actually practice this intermittent fasting.
Yes.
There's different way to do it. I started with the easy way. The easy way is just to stop eating for 16 hours, and I chose between dinner and lunch. So I skip breakfast, and I usually don't eat between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. And when I wake up in the morning, I start by drinking a glass of lemon juice and ginger juice, and that helps also detoxify my body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to add right now some things that you could be eating: green tea or drinking green tea. So in the morning I'll have a bunch of coffee, but then starting at about 11 a.m. 12 p.m. I will switch to like green tea, because I don't want to have, even though that has some caffeine, I don't want to. It doesn't digest the same way as coffee from caffeine from coffee. And I like to, and right now there's a ton of benefits for your immunity for green tea. I take ginger, like actual ginger, boil it, and I'll have ginger tea throughout the day. Some other foods you could be eating right now that are really good for you: onion, but just like eating whole foods right now, vitamins, and taking the right supplements. Zinc.
Yeah, we're going to get into supplements. I was going to say, and the other thing is make up some prep meals. That's what I mean. I do them in batches. I do them in batches of say 12. And so basically, you just do a big cook off, and then they can go in the freezer, and then you've got your meals sorted for the week. A lot of people that do weights and stuff to make that, but you got to, I think the other problem you got to face is that people don't always know the difference between the nutrition of proper food. Like that shit you buy in a packet with full of colorings and all sorts and preservatives and stuff. If you can avoid that, that'll make a massive impact on your well-being as well.
So let me give you some tips on this. So one thing is food combining. Very, very important. So you should not combine starches. I don't eat much starches at all, but you shouldn't combine starches and protein. Okay. Yeah. That means if you're eating pasta, don't combine pasta with a burger. Okay. If you're eating a burger, you shouldn't eat the bun with the burger. Okay. You should have a salad and your meat together. Okay. If you're gonna eat a starchy meal, eat that on its own without any protein. So that's number one, as far as like food combining. I think that's super helpful. So if you're gonna eat pizza, eat the pizza, but again, don't eat protein. Don't eat chicken with the pizza at the same time. Okay. Number one. The other thing is eating fruit, really good in the morning. I eat majority of my fruit in the morning. And I like to, if fruit does not digest in your system, does not digest through the small intestines. So fruit in the morning, really good. And keeping like 3 hours between, like after you eat other food, between that and fruit. There's a great book called Fit for Life. That outlines a lot of these concepts. So food combining. I personally don't eat a lot of starches, so my dinner is very typically would be like a chicken, salad, and a vegetable. And I just don't eat the rice or the pasta or any of that stuff. Just makes it really, really easy. I don't really eat bread. Just cutting out certain things I think will be very healthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't have to completely give up. It's just cutting certain things back. It's like like if you make a meal, and then you normally some people might have I don't know, spaghetti bolognese, and then the garlic bread. Cut the garlic bread.
Yep.
Then start to bring in like reductions elsewhere.
Yes, and the thing is that if you are trying to lose weight, then it's not going to be. It's 90% nutrition, right?
Yeah.
The exercise is like 10%, but I lost 30 pounds and it was doing keto. And during the first 20 pounds, I would say I didn't exercise at all, zero. Wasn't exercising at all. It was just a change in the diet, and it's the small things, right? Change soda into water.
Yeah, and carbs. Right. Cut your carbs. That's the easiest thing. People don't realize is the way that carbs retain water in your body. And that's a lot of it. When people initially lose their weight, like, oh, I lost 8 pounds. That's just fucking water weight because you just cut your carbs, It all comes back on.
And all of this is really not like, it's very easy to lose weight. It's also very easy to gain that weight, right? How many, including myself in the past, have lost weight and gained it back. And that's because I didn't change my entire way that I'm eating. I will say the cliche word of lifestyle. I didn't change my lifestyle. I just had a goal of losing weight. Well, if you have a goal of losing weight, you're going to very quickly go back to your old habits. So I think you really need to totally change. What are the things you should be eating? Fruit, nuts, whole foods. Like I like to call it the unwrapped diet. If it's in the supermarket and it's not in packaging, then it's probably better for you, right? Yeah. Like cheese, meat, vegetables, fruit, all the stuff that's not packaged is going to be a lot better for you than
butter, like real butter, not margarine. Do you know that in margarine over here, in Crown paint, there's 17 chemicals that you would find in Crown paint over here is in margarine. If you see that shit left out in the sunshine for birds to have, right, they won't touch it. It doesn't change color. It's the worst thing that you could have in the world is margarine. But everyone will turn around and say, oh, you can't have butter because it's too fatty.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's because we are sold and marketed to that way. We have giant cereal companies selling breakfast to kids, which is just a bowl of sugar, right? Yeah. We have marketing and a lot of money behind making us super unhealthy.
And what is the breakfast, right? That was invented by those guys because you're breaking your fast.
Yes.
Yeah, we go back hundreds and thousands of years. It wasn't about breakfast, It's like the hunter-gatherer times. You ate when you got your food, and this comes in with the intermittent fasting and stuff like that,
Yep, and really in the morning it's better not to eat much because so in that book Fit for Life, the author he recently died actually, but he had the author had to change his whole life because he had Agent Orange from Vietnam, and he was told he was going to die, and he lived actually a very, very long life because of his health and habits. And he says every day until about 12 p.m. is when your body eliminates. Between 12 and 8 p.m. is when you should be feeding your body fuel. And then between 8 in the morning is when your body uses that fuel to kind of grow and develop. And great book on food combining and some simple things you could do as far as eating.
And chrononutrition as well plays an important role, especially for the dinner. Eat as early as you can, and especially don't go to bed right after having dinner. Have at least 1 hour or ideally 2 or 3 hours after the dinner where you do something else, and then you're going to burn this food and you will not go to bed, because if you're laying in your bed, then you're going to stock this food as fat.
Yeah. But then, as I said, going back to, because some people just don't realize that they're so used to buying everything in packets, and like they need to discover that there's this aisle where like there's that fresh shit that you can eat. Do you know what I mean? And then their first complaint is going to go off. And this is why I say batch freeze stuff. Ideally, you don't want to freeze stuff, but make up stuff in batches. Use fresh broccoli and stuff like that if you can. Worst case scenario, even if you eat frozen vegetable that's been freeze dried instantly, that hasn't sat around, that's got to be better than the microwave shit that people serve up, that junk.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like you said about the supermarket, if you're doing your shopping typically in the perimeter outside, right, of the supermarket, that's where the healthy food is, right? The fruits, vegetables, dairy, the meat, and even dairy is not necessarily great for you. I'll eat some cheese, but try not to really drink milk. I do almond milk instead. But the perimeter, the less packaged foods you eat. The other rule is, like, if you don't understand the ingredients in the food, if there's so many different words in there that you don't understand, like Just realize
Well, the
you're
rule
putting
is, if you know when you're eating real food, right? It's one
Yeah.
ingredient.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the easy way to sort it out, you know. So,
Yes.
yeah. Cool. Is there anything you want to add before we go? Is there stuff? Oh, we haven't covered supplements.
Yeah.
Vitamin A, vitamin
And sleep,
D, vitamin
sleep,
D,
sleep,
and
sleep.
sleep. Yeah, let's talk about sleep as well. Sleep and supplements, vitamins, fish oils, vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, D, especially D now with the coronavirus as well. It's very important. Go out and get sunshine. If you want vitamin D, like today, go and get it on your eyes. You know, you don't have to look directly into the sun. Look at Etienne.
This is my personal sun.
I've got
Take one.
I've actually got it's called a Spitera, I think it's called. It's the only FDA approved vitamin D lamp. They're about $600 or $700, but they're not full spectrum. Go out, get some sunlight, take your shoes and socks off, go and walk on the grass outside if you can, if you've got that opportunity. There's so many little things that you can do to build into your day. Yeah.
So
especially do that as early as you can in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes. So all that sunshine really important. Vitamin D. I think right now, any supplements for your immune system. Vitamin C right now really important. Take a lot of vitamin C.
Yeah.
Zinc right now is very very important. I take mushroom supplements also really good for your immune system.
Yeah.
I take something called glutathione.
Glutathione. Yeah.
Yep. I take that now. You have to take that in the morning on an empty stomach. I take that every morning now. That's new for me during this time. Vitamin D. I take a multivitamin. But these core things, fish oil, these core things, vitamin D, vitamin C. If you're taking a multivitamin, definitely boost your immune system. Green tea, really good right now. Whole foods. Eat whole foods and take supplements. It will help you. Also, hot foods right now are important because if you do get COVID, basically COVID's the lungs, and hot food does open up the lungs. So hot tea, hot soup, glutathione. I'm taking that. Anything that will get air and get oxygen into your system is really really important now.
Yeah.
And
look after your pets as well. My dog Cookie's with me. Look.
Nice.
Hey, buddy.
We'll take you out in a minute, mate.
Magnesium for the nerves and to
before
cool down the temper.
Always before I go to bed, magnesium. It's great. It helps you get off to sleep as well.
So
speaking about bed,
let's talk about
naps.
sleep.
Now that we're all confined or almost, take a nap every day. 20 minutes. It saves you an hour and a half of sleep at night. It gives you a great boost of energy in the afternoon. It's great for the mood. It's amazing taking naps every day.
It's very European, right? Like in Europe, that's pretty standard throughout, right? Like I know I was born in Israel, and in Israel, certain days of the week, like 2 to 4, everything shuts down. Is siesta, right? That's something that's been done, I think, a lot more in Europe than Americans are used to.
Well, Europe, maybe more in the south of Europe, but look at China. It's even written in the constitution. It's a right, and after lunch you see people in the street sleeping. Yes, you see workers sleeping in the stairs, etc. It's super good for.
It goes back to the coupling thing you said about sleep. You can tie in your meditation in with that as well. If you've got something on a YouTube app, lay down on your bed, and because you literally. It's almost like going to sleep anyway, and you don't want to go over 20 minutes because of feeling fatigued later or whatever. Right. But that's where you can double up there. You get obviously the subconscious stuff going. You get to rest your body as well, and then you can recharge to go again in the afternoon. Before we go, then, what can people do? Like when they are, let's say they're fatigued, and we've got to really drag their asses up to get them going. What can they do? Throw themselves into a cold shower? Because some people are like wound down for 3 weeks, right? They've got that stress thing, and it's momentum. So how do we get them back up again and get them motivated?
In my opinion, make a small commitment. Okay, I'll give you an example. So, meaning I think if you make a small commitment, it's easier to actually take action and do it. So the other night when it was 8:30, I didn't really want to get on the bike. I said, I'm going to get on the bike for 10 minutes. Well, I ended up staying on the bike for 30 minutes, right? Yeah. But in my head, it was easier for me to get myself to actually do it when I said, I'm just going to go on the bike for 10 minutes. But I ended up doing more. So I think make a small commitment. Like if you just tell yourself, you've been run down, tell yourself I'm going to go out for a 5-minute walk. Well, you might end up with a 20-minute run, right? Yeah. But if you actually like commit to a small thing just to get started, it'll get you started. And sometimes all you need is to get started.
Yeah.
Same thing with your eating habits. Commit to one meal where you're going to change, right? Start making like small commitments. And I think that's easier, especially if you're sort of on the decline.
Yeah. Etienne?
I invite everyone to do 20 seconds of breathing every time you find yourself struggling or too stressed. You breathe like this 9 times. And after 9 times, you're going to feel better and you're going to feel refreshed, and the level of stress will decrease dramatically.
Yeah, and
9 times
like more oxygen to your brain as well.
One thing I want to add, that people should check out. It's interesting, but so I was introduced to this guy. He was on a video when I went to a Tony Robbins event, and he does what's called laughter yoga. Okay,
right,
and it's very funny and interesting and weird to do it. But he does Facebook Lives also, laughter yoga. You can find it, and it's literally 20 minutes of forcing yourself to laugh. Okay, but what it does is it actually like improves your immune system. And he does these exercises. Okay, so he does one exercise. You can do it with me. It's called the milkshake. Okay, the milkshake laughter yoga. Okay, and what you're doing is this: you go, okay, that's what he does. You just start laughing. And when you do sustain 10, 15 minutes, and then after he does these things, he goes, very good, yay. You feel like an idiot kind of doing that. I feel like an idiot doing it here publicly. But
sorry, it's only on video, and then I'm going to put it out on the podcast. So
yeah, awesome. But doing that for 15 minutes actually boosts your immune system, makes you feel good. And it kind of shows you you don't have to have a reason to laugh. You can just laugh. So check it out, laughter yoga. The guy actually has a pretty big following.
Yeah, sounds good. Just going to go through the rest of the shows for this week. So tomorrow is going to be Sourcing with Kian in the Pandemic. Tuesday, we're going to do Corona Premium. So we're going to talk logistics, sea and air, what's going on there. Wednesday, Liran will be back for Wednesday's Roundup, what's happening on Amazon. This is a new feature I want to slip in because of all the up-to-date changes and stuff. So you're coming back on that. Thursday, entering Europe, the pros and cons in the pandemic. Friday is going to be diversifying off of Amazon. So that's going to cover Shopify, investments and stuff like that. Saturday is part 4 of Women of Amazon. And then Sunday is back to Mindset Sunday. So guys, I want to say a big thank you. Liran, how does people reach you?
Follow me on Facebook.
Excellent. Under just Liran Hirschkorn, right? Just do a search and they'll find you there. Etienne.
Same for me. Follow me on Facebook. Etienne Ameil.
Yeah, no worries. Pat Taylor says, thanks all. Nice Sunday session. Much appreciated as always. All the best. Tiff has said, where we go? Oh, sorry. Mark says, great conversation, guys. Loads of good tips and reminders. Tiff says, make sure it's Lipsimo or else your body does.
And the glutathione.
That's right. Yeah. So you need to take that to absorb it. Tom Sullivan says, as entrepreneurs, we're like $1 million racehorses. Treat yourself like one, which is
Tom,
very true.
I like your profile picture with your Be Limitless on your hand.
Carrots are the best food to eat to protect the body. Biggest concentration of free radical busting flavonoids was from Owen there.
Obviously, he likes the color orange.
Yes, of course. Yeah. We covered that tip. Says the show's awesome. Tom said successful people don't have bad months, bad weeks, or bad days. They only have bad moments. So let's end that there. Everyone stay safe, stay home. Lots of love. I'll see you again back here, same time tomorrow. Take care.
Cheers.
Thank you.